Carl and Lou here from Brrraains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short. Track by track time, and to be honest, this is going to be a short one. As it is Demolition, the first studio album, the debut studio album by the British heavy metal band Girlschool, released in Europe on Bronze Records in 1980. Oof. It was a couple of years away from being born, my goodness. Demolition was fairly successful, reached number 28 in the UK albums charts back when that shit mattered. Yeah. And was obviously following the rise of the new wave of British heavy metal phenomenon. These are considered a band in that territory. Yeah, kind of following on from it, mixing a little bit of punk as well here and there. You know, I'm familiar with Girlschool, familiar with the people in Girlschool more than anything else these days. But I wouldn't call myself a fan. Even by today's standards, having listened to this album full, I came away bored a little bit. Yeah, to be honest. Repetition is an issue.
I would say if I had a jukebox in a pub, you'd put a couple of songs on.
Yeah, which is what our top 3 tracks really is, really.
It's going to be the ones that you pick. And I mostly know them obviously for their association with like Motorhead. And
that's an interesting thing.
They come because Please Don't Touch. That was their with Motorhead. That was their song together. And I think they kind of toured and they did with Saxon. I think they came out at a good time. And I'm obviously glad they got that kind of success. But yeah, overall, I would just pick and choose a couple of tracks. But it is cool to see like women doing
it's
it.
That
it's cool.
We can't not touch upon that. Ultimately, a major aspect of why Girlschool stood out at the time. You know, something that doesn't feel so odd now, of course. But even though it's still rare, 1980. All female band. Yeah. You know, as you know, oh my god, wow, that was mind blowing. But it was different. That's simply it. Yeah, particularly in the world of heavy metal. Yeah, I think nowadays people don't ask that question. You shouldn't ask that question. But back then it must have been asked a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Timing this is really, really cool as well, because at the time of recording, you know, I've just recently spoken to vocalists from Burning Witches. Burning Witches have a new album out on the 5th of May, you know, following a more modern, similar path in regards to, you know, heavy metal. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. All right, so Demolition, and we begin with Demolition Boys. I like the punky rock and right energy of this one. It's a statement of an opener that makes it clear that these women can hang with the men. I think that was what they were going for here as well. Good riffs, crashing percussion, a screaming solo, great vocals. It's a good start.
It sounds like a siren opening the album. Sets the album up nicely. I like the idea that it's female singing Demolition Boys. Like I said, like we're here. When it's them playing the rock and roll. Yeah, so, I think it was a real statement. And it works as that, even now hearing it as well. Because I think we'll say it now, this album's biggest problem is that it's simply dated. It sounds dated, it sounds from a time. There's no putting this on and confusing it for the era it was released in. 100% you're going, it's the 80s. 100%, yeah. Not for sale. Less high-powered, more poppy. But it has nice and catchy rhythm. Doesn't quite manage to hold my attention for its full 3.5 minutes runtime. But I don't think there's any particularly wrong with this one. Yeah. Dare I say, it's more of a background rock track. Yeah, I put not as strong as the opening track, but the guitar work is good. But yeah, after that first song, it's a bit like, oh, okay. Yeah, I think that. And that's kind of going to be the theme, really. Yeah. Where it's not quite as hooky as I'd hoped. Race with the Devil. A cover of a track by The Gun. I don't know who The Gun are. Or at least I don't think I do. So I've no comparison to go on here in regards to the cover aspects of it. The track did feel familiar though. So that's the one thing I would say. It felt familiar. But I couldn't quite be sure because it is just heavy metal. Like, you know. Regardless, it's got some groove and Guitar Hero-esque riff work. It's a decent track. I like the start of this. Feels really horsey pacing. Okay. Galloping. Yeah, that's the word. Love the rumbling drums. It makes me want to be in a grubby rock pub. Okay. I kind of got that feel from it. So that's what I liked about it. Okay. Take It All Away. I find this much more compelling due to its anthemic qualities and sing-along chorus. The guitar solo here is particularly solid and the poppier rock sound is it hits quite nicely overall. Starts with some bants. I like that. Yeah. Great rhythm. It feels fun and peppy. Gang vocals are always good for me, and it's not aggressive. It fits the tone. It's just fun rather than like shouting. It's
all together. I liked it. Yeah, that's good for me.
Yeah, I was expecting, because I'd certainly never listened to an album in full overall, but I was expecting a rawer punk sound mixed with rock throughout it. But to be honest, that isn't the case at all. This one leads to more towards rock, straightforward rock and roll, with, to me, some poppier elements here and there. Nothing to lose. A long one, but also one that has a bit more imagination to it. The building intro leads to a groovy beat. The riffs and the vocals leading us through a rocker's hit of catchiness that can get the headbangers dancing along too. It's one of the highlights of instrumental energy overall.
I didn't really care as much. But you start to feel the song structure here, how they kind of
set
the songs up. I found it a bit repetitive.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a theme. Once I noticed it, I couldn't not notice it.
Right.
And it was annoying for me. I was like, okay, I've noticed it now. So.
Interesting. Breakdown. The groove in this track is massive, and the lower tempo adds something quite refreshing. It almost has southern rock vibes to it, and the chorus is killer. One of my favourite on the album.
Nice sleazy swaggering start to this one, which I liked. But again, I started noticing repetitions in things, so I was like, didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. Yeah.
I was kind of on board at this middle portion here, whereas, after Demolition Boys, I'd kind of thought, what's going to happen here? Now I'm kind of, this is cool. And then we get Midnight Ride, a punchy burst of energy without ever hitting a high tempo. This is solid, if a bit unexciting. I was getting quite bored by the end.
I thought it was a dirty rock and roll track, nice guitar work. I like when they said give us a call, because it sounded very English, like the phrasing of that didn't sound American.
Give us a call, mate.
Yeah, not in so many words, but like...
Not quite like that.
Because he wouldn't say that. I don't know, I kind of just wouldn't say give us a call. Call me or something.
I'm not sure, yeah.
Do you know where I'm coming from?
Are you American? How do you say it? Yeah.
Give us a call.
Okay, no, I get it, I get it.
But yeah, I kind of like that.
Emergency. The guitars are ringing here, the tone is a bit different, but overall this one passes me by. And I think now I'm beginning to check out this album, which is a surprise when you consider its length. Again, this isn't a bad song. I just don't find any particularly exciting about it.
I thought nice bassy twang. This was a single they released from this album, and I can see why, because it kind of has
I get that.
What they're trying to put out. So yeah, but overall, getting seen is not one of the top ones for me.
Yeah. Penultimate track. See, that's how short this one is. Baby Doll. Is this live? The start and end suggests it is, but you will get that sometimes in a recorded song anyway, where they add these kind of crowd sounds to make it imply that it's live. Because what really puzzled me is musically, it sounded too well produced to be live. Just I mean, like, if this was a live track from this period, it shouldn't sound perhaps as good as this was. And we should bear in mind, when I didn't listen to like the remastered version of this, was the original fucking thing. The one without the bonus tracks or anything like that. So like having crowd noise at the beginning, at the end, really left me confused because musically I didn't think it sounded like it was live. But regardless, it's a strong effort with some interesting riffs and plenty of energetic groove. In fact, I think actually, hearing it would probably play quite well live.
No, I didn't. I am the opposite.
Okay.
I found it a bit bland and lacking for me. It felt longer than it actually was.
Okay.
I didn't like it. So.
Fair enough. And Deadline is the finale, ending like they begun with a high-powered blast of punkish rock energy. The hyperactivity of this one is tops. And I do love how you can hear the bass so prominently in this one. Really got that thrum. A strong chorus also there to ensure this album ends on a high note.
I like the chunky start, the nice and bassy, sounds exciting, rumbles along really well, and I like the bass solo. It's a nice touch.
Okay. And that is Demolition by Girlschool. Of a time, its album. I think that's the best way to sum it. It's of its time. If you... I'm not going to say anyone... I don't think anyone would... I would find it hard to believe that anyone would be like, I love this. This is just amazing. I think most people say, yes, this is a banger. Or have nostalgic feelings about it more than anything else. You know?
Peaks in the times.
Yeah. Top 3 tracks, probably the 3 that we're probably going to differ quite heavily on, I suspect. Maybe we both got Demolition Boys, because that's one of mine. And then I've also got Nothing to Lose and Breakdown.
I put Race with the Devil, Take It All Away, and Deadline.
Completely different. 6 tracks then from, 10-track album. There's interchangeability, I think, with all of it. I think that's going to be up to you. It's an easy listen.
Yeah.
You know, if you're driving, you've got a short car journey that's 30-odd minutes long, put this on. It'll be in the background. That's perfect what it is. And you might hear a hook, a riff, a solo that makes you go, oh, I quite like that. And that's how you go. It is Demolition by Girlschool. You got any thoughts that you know what to do? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as via our social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?